Floorboards don't creak like they used to when you'd sneaking past the moon. Now the silence has a way to it, a heavy, hollow gloom. We stopped fighting over the kitchen light, or whose turn it was to drive. Now we're just two shadows in a hallway, barely acting like we're alive. Oh, where did our love go quiet? When did the thunder turn to dust? There's no violence in the just the settling of the rust. It didn't go out with a bang or a cry. It didn't even say goodbye. It just tiptoed out the back door. Where did our love go quiet? Cold before you touch it, and the TV is humming low. I've got 1,000 things to tell you, but nowhere for them to go. You're reading books you've read before. I'm staring at the wall. It's the loudest sound I've ever heard, the sound of nothing at all. Turn to dust. There's no violence in the ending, just the settling of the rust. It didn't go out with a bang or a cry. It didn't even say goodbye. It just tiptoed out the back door. This slow fade, so cinematic. I saw the way you held your glass a little too tight, like you were afraid it might vanish into the night. And I recognized that shadow, the tilt of the head, the way you leave the heavy, honest words unsaid. We're two different stories with the same jagged edge, both of us standing on the very same ledge, looking for a landing that we're never gonna find. Two restless spirits of the very same kind. You don't have to tell me about the house where you grew. I can see the architectural damage in you. It's the way you flinch when the front door slams, the way you hide your shaking under folded hands. I'm a mirror in the dark, I'm a ghost in the hall. I'm the only one who hears. wasn't the magic or the stars in the sky. It was the way we both look when we're ready to cry. We didn't need fixing, we just needed space, because we're both broken in the same place. Yeah, we're both broken in the same place. It's a dangerous comfort, it's a terrifying grace, to see your own demons with a different face. Are we healing each other or just sharing the pain? Are we the drought or are we the rain? Don't try to be whole. I've already mapped every scar on your soul, and you've done the same for the ruins of me. The only two people who are truly free. Maybe that's why we fit, maybe that's why we stay in this beautiful mess, in this wreckage of gray. It wasn't the magic or the stars in the sky. It was the way we both look when we're ready to cry. We didn't need fixing, we just needed space, because we're both broken in the same place. Yeah, we're both broken in the same place. Your name still hurts. Your name still hurts. I can say coffee, I can say street, I can talk to the strangers I happen to meet. I can say winter, and is it gonna rain, without feeling a flicker of the old kind of pain. But there's a collection of letters, a specific design, a sound that used to be a synonym for mine. And I skirt around the edges, I walk the long way to avoid the one word I'm not ready to say. It's tucked in the back of my throat like a stone, a secret I keep when I'm sitting alone. I saw it on a junk mail envelope today, and I had to look at the ceiling and turn away. It's just two syllables, a breath and a home, but it sounds like a warning, it sounds like a drum. It's the title of a book I'm not allowed to read, a ghost of a garden that's gone over the weed. The wall is getting louder, the colors are new. I scrubbed away the layers that were covered in you. I've mended the fences and I cleaned up the dirt. It's a punch to the chest. It's the one part of me that hasn't found rest. I tried to say it out loud to the mirror last night, just to see if the monster would stay in the light. But my voice hit a snag and the glass started to blur. And I realized I'm still exactly who we were. The world is getting louder. The colors all I knew. I've scrubbed away the layers that were covered in you. I've mended the fences, and I've cleaned up the dirt. But God, your name still hurts. Yeah, it's a tired little lightning bolt, a sudden alert. God, your name still hurts. Still hurts. There's a receipt in a jacket I haven't worn in a year, for a movie we slept through and a lukewarm beer. And I remember the way the streetlights looked on your skin, like the world was a circle we were both living in. We were making those plans to someday and win, with the fearless arrogance of children and men. We signed our names in the wet gray cement, and we never once wondered where the time actually went. The ink on the Polaroids is starting to crack, and I'm learning the hard way that you can't go back to the version of us that was bulletproof and gold, before the stories we told ourselves started getting old. We had a language that nobody else could speak. Now I'm lucky if I hear from you once in a week. We were the mountain, we were the sea, we were the only thing I thought I'd ever be. We were a kingdom, a riot, a fever, a holy communion for a non-believer. Now we're just minutes that the clock couldn't tether. God, we used to be forever. Yeah, we used to be forever. Not a maybe, not a see you around, not a temporary feet on the ground. It was written in the stars, it was etched in the bone. It was the only always I've ever known. Now forever is a word that I'm scared to use. It's a heavy-duty debt that I'm trying to refuse, because if forever can end on a Tuesday at noon, then the sun could just decide to quit on the moon. We were the mountain, we were the sea, we were the only thing I thought I'd ever be. We were a kingdom, a riot, a fever, a holy communion for a non-believer. Now we're just minutes that the clock couldn't tether. God, we used to be forever. Yeah, we used to be forever. stopped rattling about an hour ago, and the rain's just a rhythm, steady and low. The lightning has traded its fire for gray, and the thunder is rolling a lifetime away. You're sitting on the rug with your back to the wall, and I'm picking up pieces of the frames in the hall. There's glass in the carpet and dust in the air, but for the first time in months I can see you're still there. We said every word that we'd stored in our lungs, the bitterest poisons on the tips of our tongues. We let out the secrets, we let out the pride, until there was nowhere left for the demons to hide. The house is a wreck and the garden is drowned, but there's something so holy in this lack of a sound. It's not like the quiet that lived here before. This isn't a wall, it's an open door. There's a silence after the storm that's heavy and cold, but it's starting to warm. It's the breath that you take when the screaming is through, the quietest version of me and of you. The sky is still bruised, but the pressure is gone. In the silence after the storm, we're waiting for dawn. It isn't a sorry, and it isn't a stay. It's just the debris being washed away. Maybe we're ruined, or maybe we're clean, but we finally said exactly what we mean. I'm looking at your hands, they've stopped shaking at last. We're no longer running from the ghost of the past. The roof might be leaking, the fence might be torn, but the air feels like something that's just been reborn. Oh, there's a silence after the storm that's heavy and cold, but it's starting to warm. It's the breath that you take when the screaming is through, the quietest version of me and of you. The sky is still bruised, but the pressure is gone. In the silence after the storm, we're waiting for dawn. The engine's humming a low-key blues. I've got nothing to gain and nothing to lose, but a couple of bags and a tank full of gas, watching the miles and the memories pass. The porch light is shrinking to a tiny white spark before it gets swallowed by the rest of the dark. I told myself I wouldn't look back at the house, but I'm caught in the trap like a runaway mouse. The dashboard is glowing a pale, ghostly blue, and every song on the radio sounds like you. I'm hitting the blinker for a turn I won't take, feeling the pressure of a clean-hearted break. The white lines are blurred by the salt locked in my eyes as the city of us starts to shrink in its size. I'm moving at 60, but I'm standing so still, chasing a sunset over the hill. And I'm crying in the rearview mirror, watching the wreckage get a little bit clearer. I'm driving away from the best thing I knew, while the ghost in the glass is still screaming for you. One eye on the road, one eye on the past, knowing that nothing was ever gonna last. Yeah, I'm moving on, but I'm seeing much clearer, while I'm crying in the rearview mirror. Don't look at the seat where you used to sit. Don't think of the fire, just the smoke of it. Keep your hands on the wheel, keep your feet on the floor. Don't you dare look back at that closing door. And I'm crying in the rearview mirror, watching the wreckage get a little bit clearer. I'm driving away from the best thing I knew, while the ghost in the glass is still screaming for you. One eye on the road, one eye on the past, knowing that nothing was ever gonna last. Yeah, I'm moving on, but I'm seeing much clearer, while I'm crying in the rearview mirror. While I'm crying in the rearview mirror. I went back through the boxes, I went back through the mail, looking for the moment when the ship began to fail. I found the card from our third year, the ink was dark and bold, full of all the stories that we hadn't even told. You wrote it in the margin, you swore it on your life, back when forever didn't cut me like a knife. You said the stars would fall before you'd ever walk away. Well, the sky is still full, but you're a ghost today. It's a specific kind of hollow, it's a specific kind of cold, to be holding on to a lie that's starting to grow old. I trusted the foundation, I trusted every stone. Now I'm standing in a ruin that I have to call a home. Was it just a phrase? Was it just a string of air? Something that you said because you knew I'd be there. You threw that word around like it didn't have a weight. Now I'm crushed beneath the gravity of everything you hate. You promised always, you promised the moon, but you checked out of the building on a Tuesday afternoon. You said until the end, you said until the white light, then you vanished like a vapor in the middle of the night. Now always is a mountain that I'm never gonna climb, a broken piece of jewelry in a wasted pocket of time. Yeah, you promised always, but you didn't even give me now. Was it a fever? Was it a phase? Was forever just a label for the better days? Because the always that I heard and the always that you meant are two different debts that'll never be spent. I'm erasing the forever from the mirrors and the glass. I'm letting all the always turn into the past. Don't you dare come back and tell me that you tried when always was the very first thing that died. You promised always, you promised the moon, but you checked out of the watching the coffee cup slip from your hand, but it hasn't hit the linoleum yet. I'm watching the eyes that we carefully planned dissolve like a ghost in a net. The sunset is hanging, stuck in the trees, a permanent orange, a frozen goodbye. I'm down on my spirit, I'm down on my knees, watching the birds drop out of the sky. We're talking in bubbles, we're moving through glue. I reach for your shoulder, but miss by an inch. Every I love you is slightly untrue, a beautiful lie that we don't even flinch to tell anymore. As the walls start to lean, as the ceiling begins its long, lonely descent, it's the quietest wreckage I've ever seen, a graceful collapse of everything meant. There's no sudden crash, no shattering sound, just a gentle surrender of holy ground. We're drifting like feathers, we're drifting like ash, 1,000-year fire in a 1-second flash. It's beautiful, really, the way that we go, falling apart in slow motion, you know. Yeah, falling apart in slow motion. Gravity's failing, the anchors are gone. It's taken forever to get to the dawn. The frame is buckling, the pain is peeling, but we're still standing here without any feeling. I see the crack widening under your feet, I see the light fading out of your hair. The tragedy is perfect, the tragedy is sweet, because we're still acting like we're actually there. There's no sudden crash, no shattering sound, just a gentle surrender of holy ground. We're drifting like feathers, we're drifting like ash, 1,000-year fire in a 1-second flash. It's beautiful, really, the way that we go, falling apart in slow motion, you know. Yeah, falling apart in slow motion. I started a page at 4 in the morning, when the ink was the only thing warm in the room. I didn't give us any notice or warning, I just let the sentences start to exhume the things I was scared to say over dinner, the whys in the hows and the where did we go. I'm a saint on the surface, but underneath a sinner, with a library of things that you'll never know. The first one is angry, the second is pleading, the third one is just a long list of your flaws. The fourth one is blurry, the fifth one is bleeding, the sixth one is searching for hidden door laws. I've got envelopes stacked like a wall made of paper, a fortress of almost and should have beens too, watching my honesty turn into vapor before it can ever get over to you. They're just letters I'll never send, drafts of a story I can't bear to end. I'm screaming in cursive, I'm crying in print, but I'm holding the matches, I'm holding the flint. It's a graveyard of darling, a desert of friend, full of the letters I'll never send. I hate how you leave, I miss how you stay. I wish I had found a different way. I'm sorry I'm cold, I'm sorry you're white. I'm folding them up and I'm dousing the light. I wonder if you have a drawer in your kitchen full of the words that you're keeping from me. Are we both just writers, haunting and twitching over a book that the world shouldn't see? They're just letters I'll never send, drafts of a story I can't bear to end. I'm screaming in cursive, I'm crying in print, but I'm holding the matches, I'm holding the flint. It's a graveyard of darling, a desert of friend, full of the letters I'll never send. I saw you standing by the frozen aisle. I almost didn't recognize that look in your eye. It's been 100 days, maybe a little bit more, since we stopped being the people we were before. You asked me how I'm doing, I said I'm doing fine. You've got a new haircut, I'm drinking different wine. We're checking all the boxes, we're playing by the rules, like two polite actors who went to different schools. But I can see the way you're holding your keys, the same way you did when you were down on your knees. And you know the scar that's hidden by my sleeve, the one that you kissed the night you didn't leave. We've got the floor plans of each other's souls, but we're standing here filling these empty roles. It's a specialized torture, it's a beautiful crime to be out of each other's lives, but stuck in the same time. We're just strangers with our memories, walking through the ghosts of our old melodies. I know your middle name and the way you take your tea, but you're looking through the glass at a version of me that doesn't exist anymore, and neither do you. We're just strangers with the same point of view. Yeah, strangers with our memories. Do you remember the bridge? Do you remember the rain? Or is that just a folder in the back of your brain? I wanna reach out, I wanna say hey, but the hey that I knew has gone far, far away. said take care and I said you too. The most expensive words that we ever threw at the feet of the life that we used to lead, leaving the history to wither and bleed. We're just strangers with our memories, walking through the ghost of our old melodies. I know your middle name and the way you take your tea, but you're looking through the glass at a version of me that doesn't exist anymore, and neither do you. We're just strangers with the same point of view. Yeah, strangers with our memories. There's a rectangular ghost on the bedroom wall where the picture of the coast used to hang. I never noticed the house was this tall, or how loud the kitchen pipes sang. I'm tripped up by the absence of boots by the mat and the way the light hits the floor. It's a funny thing, living in a habitat that doesn't fit me anymore. The closet is an ocean of empty wood hooks, and the bookshelf is missing its spine. I'm trying to ignore all the gaps in the books, the ones that were yours and not mine. I try to spread out, I tried to take a wing to fill up the corners and halls, but I'm just a small, insignificant thing inside of these wide open walls. It's not the boxes and it's not the keys, it's the way that the silence is hitting my knees. It's a shape in the air that I can't quite define, a hollowed out version of yours and of mine. I'm haunted by nothing, I'm lonesome and blind, inside of the space you left behind. Yeah, the space you left behind. I filled up the drawers with the things that I bought. I painted the ceiling to drown out the thought. I turned up the heat just to feel a bit warm, but you can't wear the strip against this kind of storm. The vacuum is pulling, the vacuum is deep, and it follows me down when I'm trying to sleep. I sat in your chair, but the height was all wrong, and the coffee tastes bitter and thin. I'm humming the chords to a half-finished song about letting the emptiness in. It's not the boxes and it's not the keys, it's the way that the silence is hitting my knees. It's a shape in the air that I can't quite define, a hollowed out version of yours and of mine. I'm haunted by nothing, I'm lonesome and blind, inside Dinner's getting cold and the wine is going flat. We're sitting here discussing this and talking about that. But your eyes are like a city with the power turned out, and I'm wandering the alleys just filled up with doubt. You're kind and you're polite, and you're careful with your tone, but I've never felt more lonesome than when we're here alone. I don't want a partner who's just putting in the time. I want the reckless fever, the reason and the rhyme. Remember how you looked at me in that diner in the rain, like I was the only person who could wash away the pain. Well, now you look at me like a bill that's overdue, a habit or a chore that you have to wander through. I'm reaching for your hand, but you're adjusting your watch, and every conversation is a bridge we shouldn't touch. Don't be so damn patient, don't be so damn fine. I'd rather have you angry than this quiet straight line. Oh, love me like you used to, before the walls went up, before the wine turned sour in the bottom of the cup. Break a heart, break a glass, tell a beautiful lie. Give me something to remember before we say goodbye. I don't need the perfect, I don't need the new, I just need you to love me like you used to. I'm not asking for forever, I'm not asking for the moon, I'm just asking for the melody to stay in the tune. Fire it up, let it burn, give me one more lesson I don't have to learn. The candle's flickering, it's reaching the end. I'm tired of being civil, I'm tired of best friend. I wanna feel the lightning, I wanna feel the heat, before the cold pavement rises up to meet our feet. Oh, love me like you used to, before the walls went up, before the wine turned sour in the bottom of the cup. Break a heart, break a glass, tell a beautiful lie. Give me something to remember before we say goodbye. I don't need the perfect, I don't need the new, I just need you to love me like you used to. Record player skipping on a song we used to know, but I'm still spinning around the room and I'm putting on a show. The dust motes in the sunlight are the only guests I've got. I'm pouring out 2 glasses, though I know that you are not. Standing by the window with that look upon your face, I'm just catching at the ripples that you left around the place. I put my hand upon the air where your waist used to be, and for a second I could swear you're looking back at me. curtains catch a little breeze and mimic how you move. I'm falling back into the rhythm, back into the groove of a life that's been demolished, of a house that's been hollowed by the bitter, jagged pill that I finally swallowed. And I'm dancing with your shadow in the middle of the afternoon, humming all the lyrics to a long forgotten tune. It doesn't step on any toes, it doesn't say a word. It's the quietest companion that I've ever seen or heard. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drifting across the floor, dancing with your shadow, 'cause I can't have you anymore. The neighbors think I'm lonely, the neighbors think I'm late, that this silhouette is better than the nothing that I had. It doesn't pick a fight, it doesn't try to leave. It's the only part of us that's still allowed to breathe. The sun begins to wander and the light begins to die, and your outline starts to stretch into a long and thin goodbye. I'm reaching for the darkness just to keep the image near, but the moonlight has a way of making phantoms disappear. And I'm dancing with your shadow in the middle of the afternoon, humming all the lyrics to a long forgotten tune. It doesn't step on any toes, it doesn't say a word. It's the quietest companion that I've ever seen or heard. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drifting across the floor, dancing with your shadow, 'cause I can't have you